The Assam government has decided to issue arms licenses to indigenous residents living in what it calls vulnerable and remote areas, especially those near the Bangladesh border. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said the move is aimed at empowering original inhabitants to protect themselves amid growing concerns over illegal immigration and rising insecurity.
Today, Government of Assam has taken a very important decision in our cabinet. We have Assam is a very difficult and very sensitive state. Today we have decided that we will give arm license to the eligible persons who are residing in remote area, vulnerable area and border area. And we will encourage our original inhabitants and indigenous Indian citizen to apply and take arms license as per the eligibility provided in the Indian Arms Act.
While the state calls it a protective measure, critics are asking if the government is shifting the burden of security from itself to citizens. What's the policy? On Wednesday, the Assam cabinet cleared a special scheme to make arms licenses more accessible to indigenous people in certain districts, including Dhubri, South Salmara, Golpara, Barpeta, Morigaon and Nagaon. Now these regions have long reported migration-linked anxieties, with local communities, particularly Hindus and Assamese speakers, feeling both demographically and culturally threatened. However, Chief Minister Sarma clarified that under the scheme, only Indian citizens of indigenous origin are eligible. Applicants must clear police verification and should have no criminal record. And the final approval lies with the local deputy commissioner. So what really pushed the government to act now? Chief Minister Sarma said this was a long pending demand, going back to the Assam agitation of 1979 to 85. That mass movement, rooted in opposition to illegal immigration, called for the identification and deportation of undocumented migrants. Sarma said earlier governments ignored these calls. He said, and I quote, "Had we acted during the agitation, perhaps people wouldn't have sold their lands and left their homes." Now, what is not covered? Following the announcement, concerns surfaced over whether the scheme would apply to Assam's sensitive interstate borders. These are regions that share frontiers with Meghalaya, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagaland. Sarma clarified that these areas are excluded because the government views interstate disputes as issues to be resolved through dialogue and mutual trust, not as security concerns. Now, this decision hasn't gone unchallenged. Former Assam DGP Hare Krishna Deka called it misguided. He argued that if citizens are vulnerable, it is the government's responsibility, not the people's, to ensure their safety. He stressed that social cohesion, not weapons, was the better path to long-term peace. And others too worry about unintended consequences. In a state with a complex history of ethnic tensions and identity-based conflicts, even a policy meant for self-defense could risk escalating local unrest. So how effective or dangerous this move turns out to be remains to be seen. Follow and subscribe to Business Standard for more.